Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you're watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the following live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member or if you're not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. That's courtesy of Jeff Riley. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in and enjoy just watching this on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. You can enter your questions or comments in the chat box over here. I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. Now, understand, sometimes even I can't get a word in myself, so be patient, and I will ask thy illustrious panel your question or take your comments. And by the way, you only can do that during a live stream. So like I said, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host or the many building videos, contest coverage that Sparky does on this same channel, informative and enjoyable, please hit the thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. And please consider subscribing, share, comments. All these engagements help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Please also consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is like less than 17 cents a day. And it is a terrific opportunity, terrific value, because I mean, we have Sparky, who has, I think he said 55 to 60 years experience. And then on my show, we have people that have similar experience, and some have had accolades like winning a national championship or winning a world championship. So I have some great people to glean information from. So all that for $4.99 a month, that is like a steal. Please do that. Now, if you don't want to do that, that's the subscription. If you don't want to do subscription, then come in regularly and hit the super chat, which is right below the chat box over here. And you can donate any amount you like, okay? And by the way, I'm a member myself. I don't even have to do that. So I have the $4.99 come out of my own checking account supporting this hobby. So I'm not asking you to do something I'm not doing myself. So just partner up with me and let's support this hobby and let's get it done. Now, this is Sparky's. Oh, before I go into that, now, when you are a member, when you join the YouTube channel memberships, what you get is with your membership, you get access to member-only videos. And they have videos on there that Sparky's uploaded that are only for members. And some of them are Al Raby's videos, some other videos, and that you can't see unless you're a member. So you get that. Plus, you're helping your hobby, your passion. And by the way, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. I know I come in and I host a show. This is not my channel. I have another channel. It's called Flying Control Line Stunts. If you want to get in touch with me or have some comments or questions, please go to Flying Control Line Stunt. And if you would locate the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which is a video that Sparky shot with his video camera of me flying his beautiful and light Junar XL. I mean, that is one of the best planes I think I can remember flying. If I flew a better plane than that, I just don't remember it, to be honest. But it's a great flying plane, and check it out. And if you will, please like and share and subscribe there as well. Now you are making it happen by your contributions and your support, super chats, the memberships, and all the engagements that you guys do. So I want to thank you. You are making it happen. So please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't do things or say things you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm now going to post a link at Stunthangar Forum. I'm going to do that right now. And let me do that right now. I know that's bad English. I just like saying that right now. Come on, mouse. Okay, it's posted. Great. Now let me go to the control panel and see how. Let me get rid of this here. Not that one, but the other one. Let's see. My computer. Oh man, darn it! I got rid of something I didn't want to get rid of. All right, let me go to where I'm going to go to here. Just like we are streaming, and so let me fix that. Let me get to the what I call the control panel. Just bear with me. I did go flying today. I didn't do a whole lot though, unfortunately, and I'll talk a little bit more about that when we have people in the Zoom meeting. Make my way to the control panel. Making my way right now. Let's see here. Okie dokie. So it looks like we have 10 concurrent viewers. Thank you very much for tuning in. We have 6 likes. So 4 of you out there, please smash that like button. And it looks like we have Brendan and Angstrom making his way in here. I see Leonard Burrell he provided us a like. Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate that. Hey guys, how you guys doing?
Hey, all right. How we doing, Charles?
Doing well, Brandon. What you guys up to?
Yeah, we're the first ones up, huh?
We are first ones up. The superstars show up.
Well, we can show something we did today. You got here. Hold on.
Oh, it fits.
Go ahead and go grab that. Hey, we flew a bi-slob today. Angstrom got one last year, and it didn't go very far. Then we put a new one up today.
Oh, very.
And we kind of had similar results. It's in 2 pieces.
Man,
I've not similar. The other one is a lot worse.
Yeah, the other one's a lot worse. The other one we banged the wings up pretty good and broke those. At least in this case, the wings are still in good shape. So
that's good. That is very good. That's something positive out of that. Absolutely.
But one thing Angstrom learned, he did learn something. Go ahead, try to explain what you picked up.
I was losing some tension, so I tried to pull back, but I pulled back too hard and it like bounced out and then turned in.
Yeah. So like it's kind of, there's a finesse thing about bislobs, and like, we don't have a whole lot of experience, but like bislobs are going so slow that if it's kind of pulling in at you, it's got a big rudder, like a strong rudder and a strong pull out. Well, if you're trying to get that tension back by really jerking back or pulling back, well, it can hit, but then it pulls it back in at you again.
Wow. Okay.
So we kind of learned there's a finesse piece to it that, like, in some cases, yeah, you want to run back, but if you run too hard back or pulling too hard back on the bi-slob, it's going to come back in at you again.
Right. I know these lessons that we learn, sometimes you have to crash to learn them. And it's like you get the test first and the lesson second. Very frustrating. Isn't that right, Howard?
Yes.
Can I hear an amen on that? Right?
Amen.
All right. Well, yeah, that's unfortunate, but I know you learned a valuable lesson. So next time you have the bislobs out there, you'll be master it. So that's good.
Yeah, he wants to get it up and going so bad. We saw a couple guys flying him at the Nats. We saw Dan Banjock handling one like a champ at Brodax, and so I don't know. It looks so much fun. It is so much fun, but yeah, we got a ways to go to master it.
Yeah. I actually enjoy watching them. I've never flown a bislob. I'm really just focused in on stunt. I mean, I do fly a little bit of combat. I have a combat plane, and I fly that once in a while. But I really just stick to just stunt. That's all I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like a one trick pony. That's about it. Let me say hi to Gordon and Bart Kaplinski. And that's Gordon Delaney and Bart Kaplinski. Hey, you guys, how you guys doing?
Good. Been working on our Pathfinders all day.
Very good.
Looks like Bart and Kilroy.
Kilroy.
Yeah,
Who's
got
Kilroy?
him from the nose up.
Oh, okay.
All he needs to do is get his hands up like this.
Yeah.
Hi there, Gordy.
How are you?
All right.
So, John, have you been doing anything as far as CAD, or I know that Gordon and Bart been working on their Pathfinders today.
I've been working on my drains and that here in the house. I've had a problem here
Oh,
working on that.
there's always something, huh?
Isn't it though? That's the great joy of home ownership.
Mhm.
But I did get a message from Marcel Legrand, and he's a picture of his twin Pathfinder's almost done. He's just
All right.
said he's waiting for a few bits for it, small pieces, and I'll share it whenever you guys are ready. I also
Okay.
have some. He's been doing a lot of hang gliding, and there's some beautiful shots of hang gliding above the wild New Zealand coastline. It's really gorgeous.
Oh, I bet. I only can.
Oh, does he have a will involving his balsa? That's important.
I'm sure he must, because balsa is a scarce commodity everywhere you go. It's better than hoarding gold now, I guess.
I don't know if did you see that email from Elliot Scott? And I think he might have posted it on the forum. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some pretty good wood. I mean, some of it was 4 to 5 pounds.
Well, he always did have good wood. That's plantation wood that he usually got.
National Balsa had a sale too, I think.
What was that, Howard?
I think Balsa sent me an email.
Well,
He
you're
broke
breaking
up.
You're breaking it up. Say it again.
Oh, National Balsa is selling balsa. They're having a sale.
They're having a sale.
really?
Wow.
I think so.
Well,
Huh.
thank you. Yes. So maybe it's not as scarce as we'd like to. So, anyways, and it's kind of interesting if we can get how people would feel about having someone have a will and leaving balsa with somebody.
Yeah.
Well, you
Even someone to ask, hey, would you mind if something happens to you? Would you mind? Yes,
Yeah,
Gordon.
especially hang gliders and
Hey, Gordon, go ahead, Gordon.
We just wanted to comment on bislob.
Yeah.
Yes.
That means the engine thrust and the lead outs are in the wrong position. They need
Okay.
to put a stop in there so when the engine turned out, the lines are at the same angle as the engine pulling. That way it won't jerk in at him. So if you
Okay.
move the lead outs, you gotta adjust the lead out. You can move that back so it's at the same angle as the motor's pulling.
Okay.
That way, if he jerks back, it goes back straight. It doesn't turn in at him.
Okay. Yeah.
I've got one similar to a bislub, but it's 15 by 15 by 15, 1.5 gas tank, 15 engine. It's square and
Mhm.
it pivot around the prop. But if I don't have those lead outs in the proper position, he'll come and visit you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. We'll take a look at that and be more mindful of that on the next go around.
Yeah, I just thought you might want to know that.
Yeah. Again, the good thing is at least the wings made it through. So just a little patch job on the fuselage, but
It hit right on the wing too.
yeah, it's weird. It hit on the wing, but it broke apart the fuselage in the back.
Well, good. It didn't hurt the wing.
Yep.
That is good. And let me welcome Gary Sinclair. How you doing, Gary?
Pretty good.
Good to see you.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Question.
And Howard Rush, thank you, Howard, for coming in. I see you're
Yeah.
sitting down outside. Are you overlooking Circle One, or you have some other scenery?
No, I'm not.
We're about to see it. I'm ready.
Have you been doing any flying or building, Howard?
I've been driving and having COVID. Those are my achievements for the week.
Ah, really? I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm sorry about the COVID part.
Yeah, it's been about 4 days driving, and yeah,
Oh man, that's too bad.
I'm home.
Yeah, you're home though. That's good. I can see you're home.
Yeah, does your wife have it now?
Yep.
Oh man.
Well, share and share alike, Howard.
That's right.
So you haven't had a chance. You haven't been in here since the Nats, have you? Is that right, Howard?
No.
So you want to tell me some takeaways from the Nats?
It was good. The weather was perfect. The weather was forecast to be imperfect, but it was perfect.
Cool.
At least till through Thursday. I think Friday was good too, but I fizzled out on Thursday because of the disease.
Oh no! So it shortchanged your flying. Huh?
Well, now let me clarify this. I flew some substandard stunt. Well, it was pretty good, but it wasn't good enough to get invited to fly on Friday, which is okay because then I went bad otherwise.
Oh damn! Sorry to hear about that, man.
But I was bragging to Chris Cox about been flying pretty good stunt with COVID, but he flew a pretty good stunt when he was having a heart attack.
If a guy can outfly you having a heart attack, that means they really can kick your butt, huh?
Well, we don't know his score. He was probably in delirium thinking he was flying a good stunt, but he's okay. That's the good news.
That's the good news.
And in good spirits the whole time, which is his name.
Well, I've never seen Chris Cox without a smile on his face.
No, he was having a heart attack, had a smile on his face.
I've seen him without a smile on his face. Anytime we talk about Mac.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Well, thank you for coming in, Howard. And Stuart Morris, how you doing?
Good.
You been doing any flying lately, or been working in your shop?
Yeah, flying and crashing. You want to hear a good one?
I want to hear a great one.
I was flying the Cardinal. I don't know if you can see this.
Let me make it big. Hang on one second. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. All right.
This is the ballpark. And
nice.
There's see that black pipe on the top of the fence?
I do.
So what happened was I was flying and I moved my position where I was flying. What happened was the plane came down right on that rail.
Wow, that's a first.
Yeah, and it broke both props or both blades right off. It kind of bounced up and then came around. If I was down a foot or a half a foot, the wing would have caught and it would have been the end of it. But
well, you know what the valuable lesson is, that now you know where 6 feet is.
Yeah. Well, it actually is the perfect height to fly at because I use it as a reference point.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Right here on my forehead when I'm flying. But if I was down 6 inches, it would have totaled the plane.
Well,
but
goodbye.
I didn't realize when I moved the position that fencing is arced. So it came in closer on the arc at the back of the fields. Well, I fixed her up, though. It didn't do too much damage.
Very, very good. Yeah, at least you gained some knowledge of where 6 feet is at, what it feels like.
Yeah.
And let me see, Mark Wise. How you doing, Mark? Thanks for coming in.
I'm doing well. I actually spoke to the COVID patient yesterday, Howard, and got some good information from him as usual. But I want to, if you don't mind, I want to toot my own horn.
All right.
If I can reach it. But this is a. If you can see this.
Make it big here. 1 second.
Hold on, I want to mute us, but what's he got here?
Okay, Win Paul, I see that. That's pretty cool.
Okay, so I got this yesterday, a letter from Win, and I'd like to read it to you because it's worth everything to me.
All right.
Mark, Tammy, and I thank you for assisting us in selling the Stunt History book at the Nationals. We had a successful unveiling of the history. The Pampa banquet was superb in every way, the venue, the food, the program, and the good fellowship displayed by everyone there, which was a reflection of your leadership. As the MC, you were great. Your leadership for Pampa is outstanding, and we recognize your consummate approach to every detail. Sincerely, Tammy and Win Paul.
Nice.
Very nice.
I just feel good about that. It was awfully nice of him to do that, and that's the payoff.
Yes.
That's the payoff.
Absolutely.
So it's just, when you get bogged down in the work, sometimes you don't see the silver lining. But that and Dennis giving me a set of spectral lines for my P-47 made it the most memorable Nats I'll ever attend.
Nice. Have you done any flying lately? I know you've been such a busy guy. Have you done any flying? I mean,
I got the P-47 up quite a few times on the grass circles at Bunsey. My position this year was kind of odd, and John Paris treated me very well. Due to what happened the end of last year and a lot of politicking, AMA changed that position of the contest coordinator, which was done by Brenda in the past. And so this year they took our advice, Bob Hunt and I, and each SIG was responsible for their own. So basically my job was to assist John in anything he needed. So I made a couple of runs to the farmhouse and pick up trophies and things like that. But every once in a while I snuck away and, do some flying or something like that. John does a tremendous job running the Nats, John and Michelle and that team. So I got some flying in. I'm going to be, I guess in 3 weeks with Ed Waskey and the kids in West Virginia. And Will Davis is coming up to help me do that. So, I'm staying busy, and I'm working closely with Bill Lee, who is our contact to the FAI. And I already have 1.5 inches of printed paper that were emails from him, including the FAI rulebook, which I think is very important for us to know. So, I treat it kind of like a full-time job. I don't want to show up in Muncie in August and start learning anything. It's a little bit late. So I kind of go the other way and just kind of dig in and try not to embarrass myself or in this case, our country,
very good.
The stakes are a little bit higher. So, but I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
Good.
Is it official, Mark?
I'm sorry?
Is it official?
Well, I guess the official answer is no until next week when I'm not sure what they call themselves, the equivalent of a board of governors of AMA has to meet in person to vote for it. However, about a month ago, they all submitted a paper ballot over the internet and that passed. So this is just a formality. So I'd say it's in concrete.
Right.
Okay. And I think it'd be a great spectator opportunity, even if you're not flying in the Nats, to come and watch what the world's got.
I think I might do them both.
Yeah. And I was thinking of wearing a shirt in the front would have the American flag, and in the back would have everyone else. So so I wouldn't be over jealous on either side, but it's going to be good. It's going to be fun.
Absolutely. I think Caffeine came in next. Hey, Caffeine, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. I haven't done any flying in the past few days, but I did something on my studs.
Oh, great. What'd you do?
Yeah, I cut it shorter, the post, and then I also add some weight on the post, so it will fall flat fast. So my goal is to make my studs to fall flat fast. So I'm working on it. So uh even without the force from the step, it has to be fall flat fast when the release cable release. As soon as possible the release cable is released, it should fall flat. So that's my goal now, and I'm still working on it.
Good idea. Good idea. I'm glad to hear that. That should help.
Mhm.
You had a crash a while back. Did you fix the repairs on your Cardinal from that? Wasn't there a crash because of the grass?
Yeah. It was with my factor. I just placed an order to product. I ordered like 10 blades of props, and then intake filter, and then I'm getting a new and bigger wheel set. So I've been dealing a lot with tall grass at my flying field. So yeah, getting a bigger wheel diameter. So hopefully it will also solve my problem. And the other that I found is, the bottom part of the U shape on my studs is actually a bit too high. So it's touching. Currently, it's touching the bottom part of the fuselage. So it's no wonder it makes when the engine is running, and then I release the cable. It's making it's
Lift up, and then you hit the prop.
it's making bump, like it hits the fuselage, and then you know so yeah, I'm trying to solve my problem with the stud. So hopefully I can do solo flying better.
Very good. That's great. Yeah, I have my
And
students.
safely.
Yeah, safely. That's what we want.
Yes.
Yeah, my Stooge must have several thousand launches on it, and it's in my car. Unfortunately, once I'd show it to you, but it's similar to yours.
Okay.
Let me see. I think Tryan came in next. Hey, Tryan, how you doing?
Hey, good.
What you been up to?
Well, I'm finishing the vector painting on it and stuff like that. We start covering my body's plane. Tuesday we went out flying. His first time flying control line ever.
Nice.
So he put his first 5 flights, right? Basically, we spent some time, like maybe half an hour before we went out flying, and we talked about how to do things, this and that, and stuff like that. So try to do some ground schooling, right?
Right.
Then we went up flying. I put a flight on the plane just to make sure everything is fine with it, and then on the second flight, I took him on, and he basically learned how to fly level flight, right?
Right.
Then that was his first flight. The second flight, I also let him kind of take off and to try to take off, with me next to him. And he flew the rest of the flight basically, helped him out a little bit on the landing. And then flight 3, 4, and 5, I have one of them recorded if you want to see it. It's actually the last one.
Now, how old is your Padawan?
He is 13.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So hang on. Let me do the share screen. Just a second. Where is it at? It's internet. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Share. Okay, I have to change a couple of things here. Let me change this. Okay, you guys see this?
Yeah.
All right, so this is his last flight, basically. And as you can see, I'm just sitting behind him. I'm a lefty. I'm not even reaching over to his shoulder to touch the handle at all. So let it rip. So I didn't even stay with him.
Wow, this is what number flight is this?
5.
Wow. Yeah, I think he's got it.
So he was doing so good at this point when I said, "See you."
No kidding.
I
Now,
just
what
said,
plane-
"Hey, fly a
what
little
plane
bit
is he
higher so I
flying?
can get out," and that's all I told him.
What plane is he flying?
I'm sorry?
What model plane is that?
The Prowler.
Wow, that's pretty good. I bet he had a big smile on his face, huh?
Oh man, he was happy. He was super happy, and I mean, for his 5th flight, look how clean he flies.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah. So the flights are very short. I think the time it's only set for maybe a minute and a half or so. So basically, fly, do a little bit of a few laps over there, so you don't get dizzy and anything like that. So, and it's actually doing a pretty good landing too.
Yeah, I think this guy has a future. That's for sure. That's really good.
Is that a baseball diamond?
Yes.
Huh. You people play baseball.
Well, that's not a bad landing either.
Huh.
Yeah. Very good.
So not a bad landing, right?
Oh,
Not bad.
I thought that was caffeine. Never mind.
Very good. So now that's your son there, right? Tryon down to the left there.
No, that's not. That's his brother, his little brother.
Okay, now is
kind of funny. You can hear it hearing him on the background when I walked out. Like, you got a crash!
wow.
It's so
Now,
fun.
Is this motivating your son to want to fly more?
He's not here. He's in Romania.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, and I have something else I want to share from him. He did a little montage on his. You see that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
There's a kitty.
That's a heat gun there.
Yep.
Wow, that's awesome. That is you're doing a good job, Tryon. That is what we need to get the next generation going.
Yep.
That is I actually had a chance to help this guy rolled up on us today, him and his father, and I pulled out my trainer, and the little boy, I think he's 7 years old, name is Max, and we went flying. I put my hand on his shoulder, and I'm holding the metal part of the handle, and we were flying my trainer. And so I'm hoping that him and his father come back next Friday, and hopefully that'll just fester and grow into maybe another participant. So
That's
that's great.
that's cool. Yeah. He actually came to my place today and we spent another 2.5 hours working on his plane. The wing is done, the tail is done, the flaps are done. Uh, uh, the control systems are installed. The fuselage turned out. The fuselage is the next thing we're gonna take over. So made some plans because the plane is built for an IC power plant. So we're gonna switch to we're gonna start electric right off the gate. And man, time flies. Time absolutely flies. I mean, it looks like you start to do something and talk about something, and like 2.5 hours are just flying.
Very good. Let me interrupt you here. Keith, did you get a chance? Keith Trossel, did you get a chance to talk to me last? When was that? You was in here Monday. Did you get a
Last
chance?
Monday, yeah. People were busy and I left.
All right. Well, what you been up to, Keith? I know that you came in after Dennis and you came after Bob Whitley. I'll get back to them, but last time I don't think you got a chance to say anything.
No, been trying to get motors sorted out on the big job and got to fly today, but something's still not right. At least it runs as a good strong 4-cycle, but not getting the power that I need. So we played around with shims in the head, and I think that's messed up the engine run. I'm gonna have to go back to what I think we had before and try it again.
Now this is an engine you got from Leroy Black, or where'd you get that motor from?
Yeah, Leroy Black had it. It was an engine that Bob Whiteley had from the same source, Roy Trentham, that I had with mine. So Leroy and Bob and I have both run the same Double Star 60, and I broke 2 of them so far. So I'm not doing too good right now.
Is there any chance? So you don't have the power you normally would have? I mean, how lacking in power is it? I mean,
well, it's strange. I don't know what's going on. At the Nationals, I couldn't get the thing to needle right, and we tried different glow plugs, different fuels, different tanks, and then we think we found the problem with spray bar and needle valve didn't have a good fit, and that didn't help. It just wouldn't hold a needle setting. And then Tom Dixon suggested I put a hot plug in it. He gave me an OS F-type plug that's used on the race cars, and put that on. And anyway, it runs steady, but still lacking the power. Instead of getting the nice little burp on the top of the maneuvers, it's going kind of rich and losing power up there, and that's not good. But,
back plate on tight?
Pardon?
Is the back plate on tight?
I'll check again, but I'm pretty sure that's good. I think we just messed up the compression ratio because the engine, when it's running right, it just runs a good strong 4-stroke and gives a little peak on the top of the maneuvers. And the other thing is strange. I put in 4 ounces of fuel to run on the 60, which should be just barely enough for maybe 7-8 minutes. The thing ran for 12 minutes on 4 ounces of fuel. Dead rich. I can't figure that one out either. That just doesn't make sense.
Sounds like Venturi might be small.
Same Venturi I've run on all the engines before. Or maybe there's a restriction. There could be. There's a restriction in the Venturi. I'll have to check.
Yeah.
That's a good point. But it's running a good strong 4-stroke. on the ground air until you start to get up around 45 degrees, and then it goes weak. It should be the other way around.
That's really strange, Keith.
Is there any possibility that the sleeve is just a little bit slightly misaligned?
It hasn't been changed from the time this engine was been run for years.
All right.
So, and I checked down, I just looked down there. I had the head off a couple days ago, and everything looks to be lined up. So I'll check again when we take the head off and see what's going on.
Yeah.
Keith, this is right out of the clear blue sky. I agree. It sounds like it's like the Venturi is too small, and that's how you get, I don't know how else you get 12 minutes out of 4 ounces. Is it possible that you got some kind of goofy airflow situation in your cowling that is somehow starving the Venturi?
Well, I would think so. It might be, but a week before the Nationals, I took that thing out for the first flights, and the engine ran perfect. And didn't have any sign of overheating or problem with fuel draw or anything. It ran just like the other engines I've had in this same airplane with the same cowl.
Okay, I guess what would happen if the Venturi was not sealed to the crankcase, bad gasket, something like that? And I don't know if that would impede any of your symptoms either. It sounds like you mentioned you had the spray bar out, stuff like that. Maybe something got broke, the seal got broke somehow in
That's
the
a good
process
point.
of doing it.
I'll take the whole engine out and look at the whole mess. We'll see what's going on.
Maybe glue this Venturi in with silicone seal or something like that. You can still get it out if you need to, but that would be a pretty good way of making sure that you have absolutely no leak.
Yeah,
But,
I use a really good sealer that's used on full size engines. That's what I use to
Yeah, but I can't get sound
to the engine, and that works really good. So
Yeah.
good idea. Maybe use some of that around the Venturi.
Yeah, I'll use it on the back plate too. Glue it on. That solves any of the back plate problems. I've even used that on the plastic backplate engines as kind of a way out. It, you could still use either the just regular silicone seal on something that isn't getting real hot, but you can also spend a little more money and get the heat, the hot stuff. You can use that to like glue a muffler on and stuff like that. It'll hold even under exhaust heat, stuff like that. But I don't think you need that for a Venturi or a backplate or something. That's usually a pretty cold part of the engine. But yeah, 12 minutes on 4 ounces sounds.
And running a dead 4-stroke.
Yeah, that
just doesn't make sense. And
it doesn't make sense at all.
The first
Put
engine.
the miracle fuel in it.
Hmm.
You must have put a miracle fuel in it.
Yeah, that's something.
Doesn't add up.
Same fuel mix I've used for years.
Well, that's
that
it.
doesn't add up at all.
Maybe the nitro's all got evaporated out of it, and you run an FEI fuel.
No, these are fresh jugs I'm taking out of. So.
Okay.
And besides the stalkers, you run well with no nitro fuel.
Yeah.
Not 12 minutes well. 12 minutes means there's something.
One thing is strange. First run this morning out of the field, got a real black exhaust coming out of the muffler. Second run, it wasn't near as black, it's more just a dark gray. So something's going on inside that engine. I just don't understand.
Huh. Hey Gordon, was you listening to Keith's woes with his double star 60?
No, I didn't hear that.
We'll work it out. I don't know, we did fly scale at the Nats. And there's pretty good turnout scale this year. I don't know if anybody paid any attention to the Nats coverage on scale, but there were, I don't know, 20, 25 airplanes there.
Wow.
That's great.
I flew half A scale with that twin Hughes XF11 with the O2Os on it. And there are only 3 people flying half A scale. We got first place there.
Congratulations.
And then I flew profile scale with that composite airplane with a JU-88 on the bottom and the Messerschmitt on top, and got a decent static score and came in 3rd place overall with that thing.
Oh, good.
Cool. Hey, Mark.
I'm a real advocate now for half A scale. I think that's a neat event, but more people ought to try it.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Gordon.
I just wondered if Mark Wise checked on my, why I wasn't getting any copies of the Pampa magazine.
Right. Did you see my, I just sent you a chat a couple of minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
If you could comply with that, I will take care of the rest.
Okay.
I have a newsletter for you, and I have 2 guys working on it to make sure your membership is proper.
Very
I
cool.
got a question for Gordy.
Go ahead, John.
You guys run those stalkers yet?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I got it mounted in the fuselage though, and got the nose ring done, working on the cheek cowl.
Good. I just got it. I'm curious get a report on how they're running.
Well, hopefully it runs good. I might have to buy it from you if I don't get mine back.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, okay.
Let me bring in Bob Whitley. Hey, Bob, how's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty darn good, actually, all things considered. The week, I had my medical due this week, yesterday, and for a stress test and all that, and I was pretty stressed up about it this year because I really haven't been feeling good for a while. But I did better than I did last year on it, so it shocked me.
Oh, good.
Bum leg hurt like hell afterwards, but so I felt pretty good about that. And
Good.
good. I'd done some mental therapy and hung out in the workshop the last couple of days. And tore apart and rebuilt some profile fuel tanks and put new mounts on them and painted them and cleaned up 3 or 4 engines and fixed a few airframes and got a bunch done on my old flight streak. So, yeah, always pretty good. And this morning went off and saw the guys for the Friday breakfast and all these RC types. I showed them a couple of real airplanes. The SV11 and my profile vector, and they generated quite a bit of interest. But yeah, so it's been okay.
Very good. Very good.
Now I was being jealous about Troyan's young guy there, though, thinking back when I started out when I had nobody. Model airplane news and a box full of wood. And me alone. And so I was being quite envious listening to him and watching him help that young fellow out.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It is. It is.
Hey, Bob, I had to walk 20 miles without shoes to get to my control line circle.
Uphill both ways.
Both ways,
right?
yeah. Uphill.
Oh, and another great thing is I went over to Ken Bird's on Tuesday night and got my copies of the History of Stunt from Win Pull.
Oh, very cool.
There you go.
So I haven't dared immerse myself in that quite yet, though, because I know as soon as I go down that rabbit hole, they're going to have to come looking for me a week later.
Yeah, I bet. And I wish I had one. I'd love to look at it. So Dennis Adamison, I spoke to you this morning, and I went flying, right, with the SV11. I haven't flown my SV11, my electric SV11, since November 18th. I have a flight log in November 18th. So I had taken it all apart, basically, to fabricate some rails to hold the batteries and everything else. So the only thing I did right when I went out to the flying field was hook up the lines. I mean, because I had the governor hooked up wrong. Then I fixed that. Then I got the motor running. And then my launching buddy, he pulled the arming switch. He goes, the prop's spinning the wrong way. So then I had to go and reverse 2 of the wires. So I was like, I mean, really, the only thing I hooked up right was the flying lines. So
Well, that's good that happened. So,
yeah, it's good that he stopped the plane. I guess he really had no choice. It was probably pushing up against him.
yeah. Well, I've never done that.
No.
No, none of us have ever done that.
Mhm.
Yes, Stuart, go ahead.
Yeah, I just got a couple questions because I got to leave in a sec here. I was going to ask Paul that on that circuit cutter, the vinyl you use, can you use, like some soapy water to move the letters around on the monocoat?
Uh,
Or
are
can
you
you have to use wing tape?
Are you putting vinyl down or are you putting monocoat down?
Well, there's it's got the monocoat on plane. The plane's done. I just want to put some lettering on, and I bought some of the circuit cutter roll of it for the vinyl, but I didn't know because it's a permanent stuff, and I didn't know if you could use soapy water to help move it around. Can you do
Yeah,
that?
yeah, you can do
You
that
can.
just like you can with monocoat, but I mean, just mist it on. Don't put it on real heavy. You don't want to see droplets. Just a real light mist, and it should let you slide it around. And then take a squeegee or a credit card, and then just squeegee out as much of the water as you can.
Okay, I'll do that.
If you have any trouble with that step, have Paul send you one of his credit cards.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hey,
his work better.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, mine's got a hole in it.
I got another question about I was trying to figure out how big I should be making my my loops and different things. So, and doing the horizontal eights and that, like you got 45 degrees up, but how big the other way should it be? And the thing is, it varies, I guess, with line length, right?
Well, no, that's the beauty of the 45-degree dimension is that that's kind of universal, and whether you're flying on short lines or long lines, it's
Correct.
still halfway up, to vertical.
It's
Right.
45
I will
degrees
say
high,
that
45 degrees wide.
yeah, one problem that a lot of beginning stunt flyers get into is they're try hard not to make it too big on top, but at the same time they may not be flying close to the ground on the bottom, 4 to 6 feet. I mean, not everybody hits the fence, Stuart. So what can I say? But
I'm the only one.
yeah. But the point I'm getting at is that especially now, as you're just getting your comfort level up and everything like that, don't worry too much if it goes a little above 45 degrees, especially if you're flying 10 or 12 feet on the bottom and stuff, let the extra height go on the top. And then just try to make everything that you do the same size. So maybe it's 60 degrees on top or, something like that. Try to make it all the same. And as you get more comfortable doing that, you can bring the bottom closer to the ground and you can bring the top closer to the 45-degree margin. But you don't want to get into the trap where you're flying like, 15 feet on the bottom and then 45 degrees on the top. And all you're doing is doing very tiny loops and stuff that are difficult to do with any accuracy or anything like that.
I guess it's for the horizontal squares, like where you're sometimes I'm not sure how far to make them out, like they should be equal, right? If you got from
Exactly.
the 6 foot to but how many feet? What I want to do is put some cones out there so I can, if I have 3 cones, but I need to know how far to space them.
Well, on a circle, if you stand there and you point your arm on either side, that's 180 degrees. Dead in front of you is 90 degrees off of that. Dead behind you is 90 degrees behind. So now you got 4 points on the circle, and then halfway between each one of those is a 45-degree cone.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
If I'll tell you what I did on my circle when I set out cones, I just tried that this year for the first time. I actually used the map application on my phone, and I could set the degree. I stood in the center of the circle, and was able to see, where the cones were. Actually, the way I did is I stood on the outside. Look, I had a cone in the center of the circle and I stood on the outside and I pointed just on the compass points, 0 degrees, 90 degrees, etc. And then I went in between those points halfway with the 45-degree cones.
Wow,
Okay.
that's an interesting. I never thought of that. That's awesome.
Yeah, but it's pretty straight. It can be pretty straightforward doing it that way.
You use the Compass app?
Yeah, compass app.
Yeah, okay. Oh yeah,
And
everybody has
of
the
course,
Compass.
it wasn't lined up perfectly with the field or anything like that. But the bottom line is no matter where you set them, given wind conditions and the shiftiness in the wind and stuff like that, they're never going to be dead perfect. All right. But if you get used to seeing 2 cones, that will give you an idea of how wide the maneuver should be, which is also how tall it should be. A square loop should look square. A round loop should look round. I don't know how to make it more elemental than that, but you'll know when you're flying the loop the right proportion, because it won't look like it's wide. It won't look like a wide square loop or a tall square loop, rectangle that's too tall and stuff like that. And step 1, get your hand motions, get used to flying the airplane, and then step 2 is work on finessing it.
The biggest advice that I have for any beginner flyer is get ready for your maneuvers, right? And what I mean by that is you don't fly level laps in front of you, you fly them to your right, over your right shoulder. So now you have time to stop, wait for the plane to come in front of you, and you do your maneuver, right? So that's one key point that I'm thinking. And the second key point I'm thinking, imagine you want to draw a maneuver on a blackboard somewhere. You take a piece of chalk and you just draw it, right? The same thing applies as you're flying. It says if you take your plane, it's your chalk, and you just put it on the sky, you draw with it. And your hand should flow after it. Just like that, wherever you want to put it.
Very good. I see you, Keith. I see you.
So that's all I have to say about that.
All right. Let me let Keith contribute. Keith, go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, if you're setting up cones, it takes a little time. Dennis has got a great idea if you have that ability to do that. But if you don't have the instrument or whatever, why set up a cone dead downwind and then go ahead and pace off what it takes to do 1/4 of the circle, and then you can figure out where the 45 degrees is on the outside of that circle, and that's where you can place your 45-degree cones. Take some time to pace those, step those things off, but you can get a fairly good accurate measure in where the 45 degrees is either side of downwind. And that would be the size of a 45-degree loop. But if you're just beginning to learn to fly these loops, don't worry about getting that tight 45 degrees. Fly 60-degree loops like in the old time pattern. Get used to flying the loops that size and making your figure eights that size. And then you can start, once you get that down, then you can start closing it down to 45-degree loops or 90-degree figure eights that nobody does anyway. So, or very few people do anyway. So don't worry about tight 45-degree loops until you really know how to fly the pattern.
Yep.
Thank you, Keith.
Well, one thing I want to say, and I'm going to have to go, is 2 weeks ago, tomorrow night, the Pampa banquet that Mark Weiss ran was really something. And it was a gathering of people that probably never see those people all together in one room again. He ran a great program, and it was quite an event. And I was just glad to be a part of it. So thank you, Mark.
Well, thank you, Keith, very much.
Keith, if you hadn't been there 50 years ago, Mark would have had nothing to do this year.
Yeah, that's right. But, we were one of the first special interest groups.
Yes.
AMA was trying to get to different disciplines to do. And we had some support from AMA in doing that. And I got to talk to several groups and getting their groups started. And but AMA looked at us as one way to do it. Of course, National Free Flight Society had been going on for years.
Yes.
But that's a whole different operation than what we are.
Mm-hmm.
Very
And
good.
with that, I'm going to have to sign off and see you guys maybe next Monday.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Keith.
Keith.
Take care, Keith.
And good luck with that
Keith.
engine.
Yeah,
Keep plugging away.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
I
Let me
gotta
just
go.
catch up
to
on the
it.
chat box. Leonard Burrell, he said like provided. And then Edward Carlisle, he said like sent. And then Marcel Legrand says, hi, Charles and everyone at Stunt School. And a big happy birthday to Lynn. Have a great day. I guess it's Lynn Burrell's birthday. I didn't realize that.
Hey, happy birthday,
All right.
man.
Happy birthday, Lynn.
Happy birthday.
And then Gary Sinclair, who's a monitor and a member of our YouTube channel, he provided us a like. And then the T-Bone 1260, he says, Stuart, don't fly your airplane into the cones. Ask me how I know.
Well, hopefully, Stuart, your cones aren't going to be 4 to 6 feet tall, and you won't have the same adventure as you had today with the fence. So
That's right. Is Stuart still here? I think he's out of here. He must-
Yeah, I know a guy who flew his nice plane in a flight box.
Yes.
Yes.
I remember that. I haven't heard from Paul Taylor yet. Hey, Paul, how are you doing?
I'm good, guys.
Thank you for coming in. So, what you been up to?
Well, I just got back in town. We went up to Wisconsin for went through Nashville first and then to Wisconsin, and we did our cheesehead fly-in. So that's just a bunch of guys that just get together anytime I'm in town. So that started back in, I think, 2008.
wow.
And then Chris Sterner and Dave Siegler are running the Kid Venture at EAA this coming week. They are going to be pretty busy flying kids. I can't tell you how many hundreds of flights they're going to do every day. They're running 2 circles, and I did that a couple of years with them. It's a pretty neat thing to do.
Awesome.
And then just working on getting a plug in my Shrike. So Howard told me to talk to Tran to see how he puts his plugs in his plane. So I'm interested to see what that looks like.
What are you talking about? Plugs? What are you talking about?
The
Arming switch?
yeah, the arming switch.
Oh,
Yeah.
the army. Make it big here.
Yeah. So I just
The army switch.
well, I 3D printed some parts I found on Thingiverse. So I'm gonna put that in my Shrike, and that slides in there. But I don't know if Tran's still on here, but Howard
still
said he had a neat way of putting arming switches in his planes.
If you don't have, I mean, those are very bulky. All the arming switches that I've seen are very bulky, very thick, very deep, right?
Yeah.
And I did not have the room for that. So what I've done something similar to what the guys that do battle bots do. Basically, you have you take 2 pieces of brass, put them like that on top of each other. You drill 3 holes through them, right? And you solder on one end, one lead to the wire, or solder a lead to the wire from the other end, and put some shrink tubing on top of them to insulate them, right? So you can use 2 plastic screws to bolt them together, and a third one in the center. It's a steel screw, right? So when you tighten up the screw, you close the contact, and it's bulletproof. It never comes loose, anything like that. And if you open up the screw 1 turn, it's contact is off. And that's all there's to it. It's very simple. Um, basically, yeah. I think I have in Stunthangar or something like that, how to make a very simple. I think I did it with pictures and all the good stuff in a Stunthangar under electric forum.
Okay.
Uh,
I'll go
Would
look
that
for
be
it.
under the TD Revolutions link? Your or
Um,
TDM Revolutions, I think was your post on that.
I don't know exactly where it is. I'm sorry, I don't
Okay.
remember that.
I'll go looking
Okay.
for it. I'll search for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool. Paul Taylor, you were saying that you can use your Cricut to cut monocoat. So if you want to do details, you actually put the monocoat or any other film in there and use that.
Yep.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. When you cut on a Cricut machine, it's like a cutting mat that's got an adhesive on it,
Right.
and this is all sticky. So anything that you can stick on here, it'll cut. So I mean, cardstock, paper, and then you have a setting on the Cricut. You can just dial it. You know, if it's thicker, you put more pressure on the blade. If it's not as thick, then you back off on it a little bit. So I usually put it on paper when I'm cutting monocoat.
Very cool.
Yep. And I put that down the same way. I'll take a spray bottle and spray it and then squeegee it out. And then when it dries, I use Windex and it'll break the adhesive and allow it to stick.
Very good. Thank you very much. That's great.
When you're cutting it on that, are you taking the backer off of the monocoat and sticking it down, or just leaving it as is?
No, I leave the backing on until I'm ready to put it down.
Okay.
Always squeegee from the middle to the sides, though.
Yeah.
Top up and
Center
sides
out.
down, because if you try to go any other, you can trap a bubble in the middle, and then you got a mess.
Yeah, from the center out.
Very good. And I see Philip, you gave us a like. Thank you very much, Phil.
Yeah, man.
Philip, that's very talented of you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, Charles,
Yes, John.
let me show you this hang gliding video from Marseille. Look
Okay.
at it. And also at the end, he has a picture of his Pathfinder twin. So,
All right. Sounds good.
Cool.
Okay.
Get my camera out.
Oh, while we're waiting, I should thank Philip for the stunt tips. I had him do some coaching, and I did what he told me, and my score went up for the second flight that day.
Very good, Philip.
Well, thank you.
Come out to Escondido and give me
Glad
some
I
coaching.
could help.
Come
Always
back out
glad
to
to help
Escondido.
out. Wow, that's pretty. Oh, I thought it was going to be of a hang glider. It's hang gliding.
Wow. More power to you.
Hey, Charles, if you want to see that, go a little north of you up to where they, Torrey Pines.
Yes, yes.
Those nuts go running at the edge of the cliff. You're thinking, what in the heck is he? And all of a sudden he's 30 feet in the air.
Yeah, I've seen it. I have seen it. Yeah. Right over what we have is called Black's Beach.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember the names of all those places.
It's a nudist beach.
Nudist beach.
Yeah.
And I missed it. Darn. I had a long lens too.
Okay. Anyway, that's the coast of New Zealand he's flying over.
Beautiful.
And he's got about 6 different flights pictures in here but it just take too long to show them all. So that one I thought was nice.
Wow,
There's
that's
his
neat.
twin.
Oh, that's pretty.
Wow,
And
that's
that
very nice. That is pretty.
Camera to come up.
Fuselage on his is 3/4 of an inch thick all the way back. It's relatively stiff.
Yeah, that would be
And,
relatively stiff.
He's just waiting for some parts for the engines and some ventures, things like that. So he'll have it up flying. You notice it's number 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
John, is that electric?
No, he's got a pair of 25s on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I like his color scheme though.
I do too.
Okay. Let's see. Stop the share.
Paul, go ahead and try that. You should be able to share a file. Just open up the file first and then hit share.
Talking to me?
No, I was talking to Paul Taylor. He asked me if he could have permission or access to share a file to show the cricket.
Oh, yeah.
I was just going to send it to you, Charles.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you. Yeah, just in the chat, just send it to me then.
All right.
Thank you. And Mark Wise, he digitally raised his hand. How you doing? Go ahead.
I did. I don't think I've ever done that before, but out of respect for you, I did.
Thank you.
Someone was just asking about, I can't remember who it was, because I went down to the shop about arming switches.
Yes, that was
that was me.
Paul, can you make me larger here?
Yeah, here you go.
You're full screen.
And this is, I think, basically what Tran was talking about. And the first time I saw this was from a good friend, Craig Gunder. But if you can see this, okay, here's the end. Okay, this ESC. But on the other side of this, my screen is backwards. It's a little bit awkward.
Okay.
Okay, here, from this connector, this just goes to your battery.
Right. I see that.
Okay. And this is just a piece to mount inside the fuselage.
Okay.
And the dimensions will be like that. That's that one screw that holds it in.
Right.
Okay.
And all you have to do is build a little connector cable with male ends on it. And the other way you can do it is just take one of these cables and just run it out. And you have it, all you have to do is plug it into one side. It takes very little room. It's pretty well foolproof. If you use one of the wires as coming out, you can never lose it. You know, unlike a plug. And it works real well. You can make this yourself real easy.
Okay.
So, all right.
Yeah. Yep. Thanks. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All
Thank you for sharing that, Mark.
Yeah. And Tran sent me the link.
Charles.
Yeah. Tran sent me the link too. So
No
thanks
problem.
for that.
Well, I think we're all caught up. I think. And go ahead, Bob Whitley. He raised his hand digitally. Also, go ahead, Bob.
Yeah,
These high-tech people.
I gotta leave pretty soon. I got suckered into helping a friend move tomorrow. But the downside of having a truck. But anyway, I wanted to congratulate Howard on his front row finish there at the Nats for appearance points.
Thank you.
Very good. Congratulations.
Well,
It was beautiful. It really is beautiful.
yeah, you know, on the subject of twins, you guys just keep talking about twins, and I see Bruce is flying. I'm getting more and more intrigued to try one. I'm toying with the thought of taking a Vector 40 kit that I've got here, kit bashing it into a twin with a pair of 25s on it. Might be a lot of fun, just as an eventual project.
It is.
I've got so darn many engines that you know, and I've got that matched set of MDS 25s I just got that seem really strong, and LA 25s, whatever. So
Bob,
there's no shortage of engines to try that.
Bob, pair of 25s might be a little more than you need. You might be tuning them down a little bit. Pair of 20s would probably be just fine.
Yeah, or if I picked up another FP9 20 like I've got here, maybe.
Let me see that again. Can I see it again, Bob? All right.
Just an FP20.
Okay.
Nothing.
On the other
I don't
hand,
think you-
there's no significant, there is no weight difference between a 20 and a 25. So, you know, all you
Yeah.
have is potentially a tick more power, and it's usually easier to tune it down than to tune it up. So
True.
Well, the darn,
I would be worried about the weight of it. But you know, a light Vector would fly on a single 25. So
yeah.
I think
the
that's
point I was
where
trying to
John was
make.
coming from. And a 20, of course, you know, it is supposed to be a little less power, but it's not. There's no other advantage to it. So I don't
How
know.
much of a power difference is there between the FP series and the LA? For example, would this FP 20 say match my LA 25s?
I wouldn't do that.
No.
You'll be sorry. You'll be fighting engine problems unless you're a real motorhead.
I'm not referring to putting it in the vector necessarily. I'm just asking a general question about what is the real difference on the power output between the FP series and the LAs.
40.
Well, the LA is a straw port, is it not? Bob?
I'm not sure on that. I don't know. I've never tore one apart.
Well, you can tell by looking at the case on the outside. Does it have a transfer front and back?
It's a Schnurley.
Okay, here's a LA 25.
Okay.
And
That
this,
has a port front and rear,
and this is the FP.
and it has a port front and rear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
the FP actually is twisted, right? The
The-
exhaust port doesn't go straight out the side. It actually comes out at an angle,
Yeah,
right?
that's correct.
exactly.
So the whole
Actually,
cylinder is twisted
Actually,
around.
looking at the LA and the FP though, and the exhaust ports, if it'll show up there, they look the same.
So it must be twisted on the LA also. Okay, I didn't
They
realize that.
look identical. That's why I was kind of curious about what's the real difference with them.
The difference is the bore size.
Okay, gotcha.
You know, they both have the same crank and everything. It's just that one's got a smaller bore.
You know, and as far as run characteristics go on the bigger sizes, my FP 35 and my LA 40s seem to run just about identical. Same starting, same run.
Mhm.
Can't really see much.
When I was flying my big old twin, back then you had to have a 2935. And it was really hard to get the same tack setting because as soon as it unloaded in the air, then they ran the same.
Mm.
And when they finally allowed 235s, I yanked that 29 out and put a 35 in it. Made the needle adjustments much easier.
Mhm.
So
Anyway, curiosity questions that I had. So since you guys are the experts and I'm just this tag along.
Well, you run a 20 and a 25, Bob, you will be the expert. You'll be able to lead us on to whether that's a good idea or not.
there you
What
go.
you gotta do.
Well, actually, the mounting is identical on them. So this rebuild of my old flight streak here, I've set it up this time around for the LA or FP 20 and 25, and I'll just sort of use it as a test bed and see what the difference is.
Mhm.
Flying.
Just curious, do you have any other possible airframes besides the Vector? Something a little bigger? So,
Well, I've got it'd be a huge amount of work, not worth it. I've got an untouched ARF SV11 here,
okay.
but that'd be major surgery to convert that to a
Mhm,
twin.
mhm. It's actually
Uh,
one of the neat things about the Pathfinders. It's about the right size to do what you want to do. So it's around 620, about 80 square inches bigger. And I think that would work in your favor as far as carrying the weight of the engines and stuff.
And that runs on a pair of 15s.
Yeah, or go really radical and pull my Shark 45 out and maybe look at that as a twin.
99999.
So just to clarify my understanding, which one's more powerful, the LA or the FP?
FP stronger than an LA.
Pretty close to the same.
They're very close. They're very close. The only person that I have seen put them both on a model, what do they call that thing where it pulls against the, anyway, the LA was not quite as strong as the FP, but they were so darn close. It wasn't worth arguing the difference.
All right.
Yeah. Found starting characteristics on my FP 35 or my LAs virtually identical. You know, pull up the bump and two blades later, they're
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess I always thought the LA was basically a more a cost effective way of building the FP. You know,
I think that's what
4-bolt
it
head
was.
instead of a 6-bolt head. Some uniformities and castings. I think it was cheaper to build is what it
Had a
amounted to. But I
thinner
think
sleeve in it.
there's some major commonality in design philosophy between the two. So
Except for the boat anchor LA. I had a 65 that I picked up dirt cheap. Oh,
Yeah.
I was happy to horse trade that away. The muffler weighed more than most of my engines.
yeah. Of course, there was that guy, and I saw it Brodak the one year. He had, I think, a 4-winged airplane with 2
Oh, yeah.
engines. And it was, I think, a Tiger 51 on one side and it was something else. It was like a 51 on one side and a Stalker 50 on the other or something like that. It was
It has to be John, what's his name?
George Joy.
Yeah.
Oh, not Sumner?
Yeah, I have to see if I can find a picture
Yeah.
of that somewhere. But yeah, it was.
I thought he had a 51 and a 46.
Yeah, it was
I'm gonna-
something. It was some goofy combination you would have never. Two totally different engines, and on a really unusual airplane. That's the PC way of saying that. And it was, and it seemed to work. What the heck? So,
Hey, maybe that's
he got his flights. All right.
I've got a 51 and 346s. Maybe that's the way to go.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh Lord, he's Canada. Canada must have some weird water this week, or maybe the smoke's backing up. I don't.
No, pot's legal here.
What?
It's all that secondhand smoke. Pot's legal up here,
Oh gosh. Hey, is the fire out yet?
No. What do you mean the fire? There's hundreds of them.
Well, that's what's going on. Okay. I was just saying because the last 3
on that
days.
note, I gotta say goodnight, guys.
Hey, good night, Bob. Hey, thanks so much for coming in. Appreciate it.
See you, Bob.
Let me,
Take care, Bob.
welcome the original Steve Smith in St. Louis.
Accept no substitutes.
I will try to stay awake tonight.
Hey, you and me both.
Last time I fell asleep and I was like this all night.
Yeah, I was up to 2:30 this morning working on my SV11 to go fly. So,
Well, I was up at 2:30, but I was sitting on the throne. I had a colonoscopy today.
oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Oh, Lord.
Oh yeah, lots of fun.
Oh
Lots
yeah.
of fun. Yeah, I know.
You have a weird sense of humor, sense of fun, sir.
I actually woke up before it was over.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, it was weird. And I'm looking at the screen and there it is.
Wow, interesting. So you've been doing any flying?
Oh yeah. Earlier this week, got 3 flights in on the Vector Electric.
all right.
Sparky was flying his Continental, the big one. He's still fussing with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the guys I fly with, they know that I'm constantly working on my plan. I'm always trying to get the maximum performance out of it. I mean, if anyone was to observe me, they think I'm just never happy, never satisfied.
I'll try to get my. Go ahead.
When I had to widen the beams just a tiny bit for the stock 51, and was weighing engines and found out the K77 drops right in my profile Pathfinder.
All right.
Oh boy.
My Sato 72, and it drops right in. The spacing is perfect on all 3 motors.
Oh, that's perfect. That's great.
Anyway, I wanted to tell Mark that I didn't get an email, and I just wonder if he spelled Gordon correctly. Are you there, Mark?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, Gordon, we spell with an A. And I checked my email, and I didn't have an email from you.
Okay. I will put that in my phone right now.
Gordon, you might want to type it in yourself and send it as a message to Mark, private message. That way, you know, it's perfect and in a
Mhm.
chat.
Well, a lot of people just spell Gordon with an O.
Yeah, that's true. That's just kind of.
My mom pulled a dirty trick on me and spelled it with an A.
Okay.
That works.
Hey, Charles, can you do a quick share?
Please, please. Wow.
Cool.
We had a thread on unusual stunt planes. You probably should have found this, but you take a look. You see, this is a 51 here, I think, with what, a max header,
Looks
max
like, yeah.
muffler. Yeah.
That's a,
And
that's
this,
a-
I think, is a OS AX series, the square muffler and all.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think this goes a little farther than mixing an LA and an FP. But
yeah.
so if all else fails, Bob, just add 3 more wings and you should be good to go. Take your vector, make a 4-winger out of it, and you will be on. Oh yeah, 2 stabs, right?
Yeah, it's checking out the stab.
Dennis, did
Two
you
rudders.
get to fly?
I'm
That thing
sorry.
was,
Did you
It
get
flew.
to see it fly?
It
It
flew. I
stunted.
only saw it once. It stunted. He was flying in, I think, advanced class. I'm not sure.
yeah,
I think
I don't
so.
think he did terribly well or anything like that, but
yeah. Wasn't he part of the Philly Flyers group?
probably.
Yeah.
It looks like he's got flaps on the 2 middle wings.
Yeah, yeah. Paul, you were there when this was here, weren't you?
Yeah, yeah. He lost it.
Did
And,
he?
Oh,
I don't think he lost it at Brodak. I think it's after he took it home, but
Hmm.
I can't remember the gentleman's name, but I think he passed away.
Yeah, I think it was you can I thought it was George Joy, but I'm not I could be completely wrong about that.
Looks like there's some nose weight up there.
Yeah. I just noticed that.
I thought
That's
that
not
was
a
a
gun,
bumper.
that's not a gun turret, is it? So
No.
It's a bumper for pushing.
oh
That
well.
thing, they flew extremely well, though.
Yeah, I don't think that's the only multi-wing we've seen in the Nats in the past 15.
Yeah, well, this wasn't at the Nats, this is at Brodak, but
There was one at the Nats and I can't remember who it was.
mhm.
Get a triplane. The one you're at the Nats.
There was multiple wings. I remember that.
Yeah, there's 3 wings.
Anyhow,
thank you, Dennis. Appreciate that.
yeah, I'm not sure where that advances the state of stunt or anything like that, but it's just, you know, there are some free thinkers out there, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got a like from Tom Rammel. Thank you, Tom. And Tom, you have given us so many likes. I just appreciate you very much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I hope Tom can join us again sometime. I haven't seen him in a long time. So
And Dan, how's your wife?
she's fine.
Good.
All
We've
right,
got
good.
yeah, she had, I guess they call it the Mohs surgery or whatever. She had that.
Yeah,
Did
I've had
a little
that.
digging. She's recovering from that, got her stitches out this week. And then we're, I don't know, catch up on the whole thing. I've been in heavy grandfather mode all week. We've been watching 3 of the kids because my son and his wife had a baby boy early this week.
Congratulations.
And the
Right.
baby had some issues, so he's still there and he's going to get checked out tomorrow. Meanwhile, their youngest daughter turned 4 on Wednesday, so we had a little party for her here, and then tomorrow we're hosting a big party for her, and then Sunday I'm heading off to a graduation party up in Detroit and everything like that. So you
Wow.
notice I haven't said anything about building or flying.
No, you're a
That's
busy
true.
man, Denny.
Yeah, that's
Busy.
it. So it's been busy, but not an awful lot of accomplishments, on those fronts to talk about. But,
Well, what about the ARF we was talking about this morning?
well, I've been messing around with that airplane, but I'd rather talk about that when I got the whole thing there. But I've been building one of the Oki Air ARFs, the Ellipsia, And Phil Bailey, I understand Larry Drone, is it? Has one. Apparently he likes it pretty well. So
Oh,
you're muted, Phil.
He seems to like it pretty well. Well, now I got my camera gone. Okay, now I'm back.
There you go.
He seems to like it pretty well. And he said when he got back from the Nats, he was going to start working on one of his other electric projects. I don't know which one he's talking about, but Larry's a fellow that's full of surprises. So we'll see what happens next. But by the way, thanks for your tip at the Nats, because I came home and tried it and I still got a ways to go, but Tom said that my overheads look the best that they've looked in 2 years. So it's working.
Way to
I
go.
just have to remember I'm having to remember so many things. Put my feet apart and stagger it a little bit, and then bend my knees and then turn this way and then turn this way. He said they're not where they used to be, but they're better than they've been in the last 2 years.
Well, it doesn't help you fly them so much. It just makes you a lot more fun to watch. All right. Dancing around in the center there. So
well, yes, when I'm staggering around trying to stay on my feet, that's fun to watch.
I know that feeling too. So seriously.
Yeah, that was strange. There's 2 places where I'm just kind of letting it float. I mean, I can't see it. I have to wait until it comes over and I catch it. But the hard part is just getting confident with letting it do that. So I'm learning. It's coming. I'm not back where I was yet, but I'm getting closer. I'm almost considering taking out one of my good airplanes and trying it. So we'll see. One of these days I'll take Revolution or the big SV out and see what happens.
There you go.
Like your shirt.
Oh, Tryon raised his hand.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Go ahead, Tryon.
I have a question. Have any of you have direct knowledge or have used the circuit flyer timer?
The climb and dive timer. Paul Taylor, you got one of those.
You got to mute yourself, Paul.
Yeah, sorry. I've got 2 of them. I've got the climb and dive, and I've got the basic one on a half A, and it works pretty good. The climb and dive that I had, I put it together and I couldn't get it to program, and so I sent it back. It's a guy in Canada. His name is Paul. I sent it back to him. He sent me another one. It's in the mail right now, and he wanted to check that one out. And what I had done is, and I've never had problems before, but I had left some flux on a couple of the pins, and that was, I guess it was enough sensitivity. It was on like the start pin that it wouldn't go past the start sequence. He cleaned that off and it fired right up. So I've got one coming, and I may test it out on the Springmaster when I get it.
Frank Donnelly had one at Broadhack on that stunt trainer, and it was doing fabulous.
Okay.
I liked watching his enough. I came home and ordered 2 of them.
Yeah,
I've got the kits. I haven't had time to put them together yet, but I've got 2 of the kits now.
Yeah.
And trust me, I don't order 2 unless I think they work.
Yeah, I know people who have got them, and I don't know anybody who's actually, they've been bench testing them, but they haven't been flying them yet. So
Frank was flying his, and it flew very well. It looked very well.
Okay.
The neat thing was when he decided he wanted to add a little RPM, he pulled out his telephone and went, and the plane goes bloop, and it's ready to go. That was kind of cool.
That's why I like. That's why I think they're super good, because you just use your phone with a Bluetooth connection and program them. It seems like the programming should be straightforward. You have a little bit of acceleration on up and a little bit of deceleration on the down line. So overall, I think it's a good value for. I don't know how much are they, like $40?
$40 a piece.
Yeah. So I think it's just a win-win situation here. So I definitely want to take a look at it and maybe put it on my Padawans plane.
Yeah. He sells them as a kit where you have, it's just two little boards you have to solder together. He said that if he sold them already soldered, that you know, he probably wouldn't be able to mail them as a letter, and the postage would go up on them.
I don't have a problem soldering. I have a nice soldering station and stuff like that, so it's no big deal.
Yep.
Actually, I can do it easily. It's not an issue at all.
Takes about 10 minutes to put one of them together. That's about it. The trick to it, the whole trick to the whole thing, like any, oh, now I forgot the word, but the very small soldering face, what the heck is it called? Surface mount technology. Like any surface mount technology, the trick seems to be little bitty solder tip, little bitty solder, and when you get through, clean everything. You have to clean the flux off everything.
Yes.
But it works. I mean, it took 10 minutes and it works fine. But again, I haven't gotten the plane yet. So as soon as I finish the Pathfinder, it'll go in it. Cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to hear from all of you guys on your experience.
I'll have it going as soon as I can.
I think the one thing that would sell his stuff so well would be just if he puts some video over there of a plane, and you know, and hey, this is a video, step-by-step instructions. This is how you load the stuff. This is how you use this program, use whatever, you know, step by step, and then put a flight on it. And I think everybody's going to be sold. And I don't care.
I think he'll sell the heck out of it.
If you can follow it by step, you should be fine.
I think he's going to sell the heck out of him once the word gets around about him, because Frank's just looks so well. It just worked so easy. He just touched it, and it just worked. And it seemed like it had the acceleration and deceleration both. You could hear 3 different speeds, and that's what sold me on it. Is I could hear 3 distinct speeds, and I said, I think I like this.
Nice.
So it doesn't have the overhead thing in it, the accelerometer overhead thing. Frank said he thought that would come with tuning it. His was kind of straight out of the box, you know, but it worked fine as was. And he said he thought there was still more potential in it. He just has to work on it some more. But like I say, I was taking enough with it. I went and bought 2 of them. And I always like to have a spare. I'm going to have one and fly it the contest ship. I like to have a spare one in the box. So it's cost me a lot of trouble over the years, but that's the way I do things most of the time.
Yes, I agree. I like to do things in pairs myself too.
Yeah.
I have a picture. I think Paul, you want me to share these pictures, Paul?
Yeah, sure. That's some work that Chris Sterner did on his creek cut machine.
Okay, let me share this here.
He's the master.
So you guys see this?
Yeah.
Wow.
So what are we looking at? That's all creek cut?
That's all. Yeah, that's all. Well, I mean, I don't think the big pieces are, but the little stuff's creek cut, Monaco.
Good grief.
Very nice.
And the other one, what he has on the bottom, that skull bone. I think it's like 3 layers. I mean, he cut it in layers. And
go back to that. I'll bring that one up.
That's the one I thought was pretty cool.
Let me see here. This is so big. Let me see if I can share this here. Just 1 second. Share this.
Did he do the Gulf insignia too?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up right now. Oh, what do you think about this?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He did that on a cricket?
He did that on the creek cut. Yeah.
Oh, good golly.
You know, he cut out the different colors, and then you kind of lay it together like a puzzle.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to play with a cricket a whole lot more.
Yeah.
I like the flags that I could maybe do Howard's pattern on his old dog to put on my dog.
Yeah. It's got some of Howard's colors.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm gonna tell you one thing. If I can get my dog to fly as good as Howard's does, I'll be one happy camper.
Well, it will, Phil. You just have to put Howard on the handle.
Nope.
Yeah, well, that's got a lot to do with it. I already told Howard I want one of his handles, though. He has designed a handle that's very unique looking, but it feels really natural in your hand. And I want one of those and 2 of his line spools. There again, I'd like to have a spare set of lines ready. So the handles, now I shouldn't say you don't break because I'll be the one to break one, but I have fouled up a set of lines at the last minute of the contest or had somebody walk on them. And so help me goodness, he had on army boots and it looked like tractor treads. My lines looked like all the way out. Hey, can't win them all.
Thank you, Paul, for emailing me those graphics. And Howard, I'm just curious, how many points did you get? I know you said in the first row. Does that mean you got
19?
19 points. Wow.
Yeah.
It was
all
beautiful.
that work you did, because I remember you had to refinish it.
Yeah.
I remember you had a lot of work on that thing. I'm glad you got some returns out of that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's okay. A little beat up. Not too bad.
That thing's beautiful. That thing is beautiful.
Not too bad at all.
Next one would be better.
Yeah. Go ahead, Steve. I mean, the original Steve Smith in St. Louis.
I have a question for Mark.
Yes, sir.
Is there going to be an FCM contest this year? And if so, when is it?
There is one.
It's not on the Pampa website.
Yeah, it is.
No,
But not on Pampa. It's
check.
on Stunthangar. Yeah.
Stunthangar maybe, but not Pampa.
Well, we'll get it on there. It's not a classic Pampa event. But we should have it on there. So I'll make sure it's on there, Steve.
When is it?
Is it in August, Dennis?
Yeah, I think
August
it's like
sometime.
25th, 26th, something like that. I'm doing a quick peek right now. Hang on.
Yeah,
Hold that thought for a
I
moment.
need to know because I want to go.
Yeah, it's a good meet.
It's going to cost you a lot of money, though, the original Steve Smith in St. Louis.
Yeah, this is one of their Jubilee years, which means once you get there, everything is free.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, free entry fee, free banquet, free T-shirt, dinner on Saturday night.
Yeah, I want to go.
This is at the LPAD?
Yeah,
I think
FCM
so,
at
yeah.
AMA on August 26th and 27th.
August 26th and 27th.
I will have to.
Saturday is Old Time Profile Classic. Sunday, Pampa events. Let's see. There, you got anything else?
I might have it.
Okay. Entry is free. Contest T-shirt free. Saturday night dinner, supper free. Free raffle. Did I mention that there is no charge at this contest?
No, you didn't mention it.
I forgot to mention that, but I think I might look into it.
It's be quite a ride for you, Phil, but I think you'd have a good time with it. Howard's been there.
Yeah, I've been there.
And
like to go
Paul
to
was
that.
there
That
one
sounds
year.
like fun.
So what the heck? Even the Pacific Northwest has found a way to get back there. So
Yeah, I might have an excuse to go, but it's I don't think I will be allowed to because it's there are other events happening.
Yeah.
Geez. Yeah.
Well, there's other events, but that's one I've had on my bucket list for a while. I'm going to look into it.
Well, hey, if you can sneak out Saturday night, Howard, it's it's free. So come on in Saturday night for supper. So
Well, there's a matter of 5 days to get there and 4 days to get home. That's the
yeah, I guess that is a pretty good commitment for a free supper, isn't it? So
yeah.
But you're saving on gas too.
Yeah, save on gas.
Yeah, but them electrons ain't cheap when you get them that way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they are.
They are?
Yep. I got a deal with that rig that I get free charging.
Oh, cool. That's nice.
So, yeah, that whole trip was free except for the hotels and
Yeah,
stuff.
that'd be neat.
Yeah.
That's what it takes you 5 days to make that trip?
Yeah, you spend 20% of your time charging, so
Yeah, yeah.
it's an extra day of hotel.
I would think if you
Funny.
were, even if you were driving gas, you would be hard pressed to do it at least 3 days. So,
The older I get, the longer it takes.
yeah, that
And
too.
how?
That
Yeah.
too.
I think Paul Walker's probably, he's a 2-day guy now.
2 days? Wow.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's pretty fast.
It takes me 2 days to go to Albuquerque. Ain't no way in the world I'm in Washington State.
He takes his RV out there, so he just pulls over and sleeps, right? He just drives all the time.
This year he took an automobile.
Oh, okay.
Some of those guys really surprised me with. Went up there with pulled campers and all, and pulled long distances with campers. I thought, wouldn't it be cheaper to stay in a hotel? Gracious.
That's what I think.
That one guy, there was one guy there who had a camper that had to be 36 feet long. And it had a big dually to pull it. And I thought, my goodness, there's no way that pulling that from Florida was cheaper than staying in hotels.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Anyways, have you done any flying lately, Paul? I mean, Philip?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Went Thursday. Put up 8 flights, and Tommy and Buddy Barbie helped me out a lot coaching. And they both got tired. I was late getting there. And I kind of told them what I was trying to do. The thing I was really wanting to do was the overheads, because I can do the rest of it. I mean, it's not as good as it used to be because I haven't flown much, but I can do it. But the overheads have been my nemesis. So at the Nationals, Denny told me a couple of tricks, and then Tommy's told me to try to do it. And I got looked like a drunk without his cane out there. So Tom told me a couple of tricks, and putting the two together, it's coming. Not there yet, not ready for contest, but it's coming. I'm at least encouraged enough to believe that it will make it. I believe it will get there. For a while, I was really beginning to wonder.
Yeah,
but it's getting there.
That's good. That's
8 flights. I put 8 flights on my little Vector, and now I'm ready to try the SV or the Revolution 1 tomorrow or first of next week. Probably going to be first of next week. I've got a pickup truck full of stuff right now. I've got to go get. I got to get rid of that in the morning before I can go flying. So, time I get there, the rest of the guys probably ready to leave. But anyway, go ahead, Gordon.
I just want to tell you, I like your shirt.
Oh, well, thank you. They
what
gave me
did
this.
Did you get that at the Nats?
National Fun Day. They gave it to me at the Nationals. Dennis told me if I'd go to the headquarters and talk to the girl, she'd give me I could get a hat and a mug. She gave me this shirt too. So I thought, hey, that's a cool deal.
Hey,
I bought me a shirt. You what?
I only got a hat and a mug.
You didn't get a shirt?
I better go back.
August 25th and 26th.
That's it. Yeah, we had a great time at that thing. I got in there and talking to that young lady, and she's sweet as she can be, but she gave me a shirt, this shirt, and then I got a Nat shirt, and I got a mug and a hat, and I think I paid for the Nat shirt. I can't remember. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. They were really sweet.
Did you get the little box?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The little
with a
box.
mug and a
That's
glass
what I
and a
asked for.
little-
What's this about this little box? Supposed to ask you about the little box. She said, oh, you can have one. So
what's in the little box?
A mug and a hat and a can't remember what else.
Oh, okay. It's not that little then.
A chit for an onion from the roadkill.
Yeah.
Had a,
We
might
had
have
a
had a
good time.
towel.
All right, Tryon, thank you for coming in, man.
Yeah.
Take care,
Guys,
Tryon.
I'm falling asleep
Hey,
here.
Brian.
Good night.
All right, you take care.
Night,
Good to
man.
see you,
Night,
buddy.
All right, take care.
But it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun at the Nats, and saw a lot of people that went to the dinner, and it was just a lot of fun. Got to see Dennis. It's always fun to see Dennis, and but got
I
to meet Bill.
got to meet Vicky, so that was
yeah.
fun. So
Got to meet Mr. Gerke and his wife, and
I didn't meet her. Shoot.
you didn't meet Gerke? Oh
No.
man, come on. Well, that's
Sorry.
a shame. Dave was there, and it was.
Yeah.
He told me some of the history of some of his planes, and I had to ask him one question: why in the world the wings are so gorgeous? Why did you never change the fuselage in it? He says, "Why mess with perfection?"
Which plane
said,
is it?
Okay, but I didn't realize he was an arts teacher.
Mhm.
But he was a very talented gentleman and a very nice, easy to talk to person. He was very, very interesting. We had a
What
good
planes
time.
did Mr. Gerke design? What planes did he design?
Nova. The Nova series.
And what else?
All-American Eagle.
All-American Eagle was another one of his, and there is another one, but I can't call it right now.
Nova 1, 2, 3, and the
And
4 was
four.
the Eagle.
1, 2, 3, and 4 Nova, and then the All-American Eagle. But there is one that predates. I think there was one that predates the Nova, but he said it was a very lesser known airplane. I don't know.
You know,
But,
he flew RC. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
I saw a picture of his RC airplane. It looked more like a AMA stunt ship. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on the night of the Pampa banquet, he was inducted into the Pampa Hall of Fame. That same night, he had to give his regrets to the pylon racing banquet because he was also that same night inducted into the Pylon Racing Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Oh my
So
goodness.
That's a pretty good weekend's work for most of
That
us.
is
Yeah.
very nice.
I did
But
not
yeah, I
know
had a
that he was
nice
pylon racing.
chat with him. Knew him from way back, and it was funny. I was trying to talk him into building another airplane. No place to fly this, that. Then I really made a mistake. I tried to talk him into electric. All right, so. No, this is a guy. He's published several books on engines and everything like that. Let's just say that was a no sale. All right, just let it go
Yeah.
at that. So.
Yeah, I tell you what, he was a lot of fun though, and he's very, like I say, very talented and very easy to talk to.
Hey, Denny, right before Dave and his wife left, he said, are you going to have a banquet next year? And I said, I think we will. And he said, well, look, I'll come if Denny doesn't.
So you want me to take one for the team, huh, Mark?
Well, why don't you
All
go
right.
to the pylon racing one?
All right. Hey, I've been thrown out of better parties than that. So
there you
go. Oh Lord.
That's what happens when you try to talk electric into an IC guy, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's like David Fitzgerald said. He said, we don't have to worry about, I told him the reason I went electric was because the propellers are cheaper and glow plugs are just getting hard to find good ones and just little things like that. Plus, I just don't have that much luck getting fuel that's any good anymore. I bought 2 cases of fuel and found out the darn methanol they mixed it with was bad. So they did offer to replace it. I'm going to take them back to them. They're going to replace it. But he says the glow plugs are going to be what kills us because the metal that those things are made out of has increased in price about 400%.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the glow plugs are going to be what messes us up more than anything else. But we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be a interesting time. But I like the electric.
Duke Fox went out to his shop one time, and there's a guy making up a set of lines. And the wire that he was using to make the set of lines up was the glow plug filament wire.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
After that, Duke kept it in the safe.
Good gracious.
Wow.
Oh
Good
my
gracious.
God.
That would have been a killer. Wow. Wow. Oh me, that stuff was expensive even back then. Good grief.
Yeah, I've heard of people cleaning their glow plugs. They use a what's that thing that vibrates? What's it called?
Sonic cleaner.
Yeah, I've heard people have had good success cleaning glow plugs. So
We had a guy here who designed the Teosaki, Clayton Smith. And he used to, when Tommy and I would fly 25 or 30 times and throw our glow plugs away. Clayton would take them and clean them and take he called it a straight pin, but it wasn't a straight pin, and would straighten the filament. So it can be done.
Yeah.
And he would fly on those things. And I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
I've never
know.
had any luck doing it, but he could do it.
I don't know if there's anybody's got the energy to do it anymore or anything like that, but you come right down to it, modern electronic ignition systems and things like that. It's at least on paper, it's feasible to go back to spark ignition, and then it's feasible to put governing and retarding, circuits within the electronics, advancing and retarding the spark and stuff like that. You can get a faster response than you can with a carburetor or anything like that. It should be able to get at least mimic a lot of the things that you can get with electric as far as maintaining speeds and stuff. Don't know how good it would be at things like, throttle advance, significantly or anything like that. But most of the time, I think even the active timers, I don't think they ask for more than 100 or 100 or maybe a couple hundred RPM at a time. So
What about diesel conversions? Do they work?
they work. Yeah. I've seen a lot of glow conversion glow engines converted to diesel, and they seem to work just fine.
You ever smell one, Mark?
Smell one what?
A diesel.
Smell a diesel.
Oh, you walk into that one.
Yeah.
No, I had a rabbit diesel, but I've never smelled a converted glow engine.
Yeah.
Not good.
Take a whiff before you go to the effort of converting.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
that was the thing. The way to clean your clothes. You get the diesel fuel spilled on your clothes. The way to clean it out is with a pair of scissors. So
yeah. Either a pair of scissors or just like a match.
Yeah.
No, the thing that got me about that, there was a guy that used to come to a bunch of our contests, and he would bring a bunch of diesel engines, and he'd sit over to the side and he'd fire the diesel engine up and run them. And they ran good, and I can't smell, so I couldn't tell you what the smell is.
Oh, lucky you.
But he would absolutely, by the end of the day, running model engines on a stand, his pants and shirt would be just covered in diesel fuel.
Yeah.
And I thought, I don't want to go around looking like I got big spots on my pants. I just don't. I'm kind of leaning more toward Les McDonald and now I forgot his name, but the man did Giardini. Those were two of the guys that I always thought were really class acts. At Circle, white pants and nice shirts and look good, And here's this guy that leaves the Circle looking like a mechanic that's had a really bad day.
Mm-hmm.
I just
it smelled worse.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. I can't smell.
He must not have been married.
I don't know. I didn't pay attention to that. But my only funny joke on myself on smell, when I was dating my wife, one night she had. One night she had.
Do I need to get this out?
No. One night she had put on some particularly nice perfume for me, and I didn't comment on it. She made a comment that you haven't commented on my perfume. I said, honey, I don't comment when people make a bad smell either. So I can't smell. That means I can't smell the good or the bad. And after that, we've never had a problem, but she didn't realize what I meant when I said I couldn't smell. I literally can't smell.
Yeah. I went out with ones who couldn't smell, and if you're quiet about it, you get away with some stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
At the airplane.
Only fooling yourself.
Yeah.
But hey, put another way, Mark, if you have to go back into the 50s and early 60s, I think the 2.5 cc diesel engines were basically the bread and butter of the base, most of the designs in Europe and stuff like that. The small diesels, I mean, they did everything with them. They flew stunt and combat and everything like that because it's all they had to work with.
Isn't that what the European team came over here and flew in? What's that team race that all the airplanes look like little straight across the front and back end always look?
They still use them for F2C.
Yeah, they still most of those are diesel, and they really
they're
get
all
out
diesel.
and go. Man, they get out the door when they let go of that thing. It's gone.
Yeah.
Back in the 60s, I ran a Super Tiger 15 diesel on my Goodyear racer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Why?
That was my question. After a couple races, it went back to glow.
Yeah. That's my dad had exactly the same. He had a diesel, and gosh, this will be economical and fast starts, no battery to worry about, but it just didn't go very fast. So
Danny, do you remember, because I went to the Toledo show for like 40 straight years, and
wow,
one of the first aisles on the right side was this guy, Dr.
Eric
Diesel.
Clutton, Dr. Diesel.
Yeah, and he always had a parakeet on his shoulder, which was kind of weird. But he'd run those things all day, these little diesels, and he was a nice old man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ran them indoors and had them vented somehow and everything like that. But
He used to defuse bombs in London during the war.
Really?
Oh Lord.
Wow.
Wow.
I guess nothing would phase that man, would it?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He sold
old bird.
lines in later days. We got some from it.
Yeah.
How about that?
Well, gentlemen, we just about come to the end of the show. Maybe I'm going to end it a few minutes ago. But thank you so much for coming in. Wouldn't have been a show without you guys. And hopefully you have a chance to do some flying this weekend. Those of you who haven't flown, and maybe work on your shop and come back and tell us all about it Monday.